And it's just like they did in South Africa. So they're thinking there's something better than South Africa, man. Yeah. On the world stage. No.
They're just exploiters. They just exploit and just put money in their pocket.
Unbelievable, man. And then you got these fools that are out there now saying, well, if you don't like it, you know what they always say, then go back to where you came. No, you go.
That's right.
Go. You go where you came from. You're the one. You're the immigrant. You're the real immigrant. You're an invader.
You're the real invader.
You're an invader.
There you go.
You guys are invaders, man. Yeah, man, we don't play that around here on Sunday Forum, man. Listen, it's 9 a.m. This beautiful Sunday morning, despite the fact that we're a little miffed right now, but we'll be right back after the NPR with Mabili, Miss Annie, and yours truly, the voice of the Tampa Bay area, Walter L. Smith II. We'll be back on the Sunday Forum here on WMNF 88.5 FM.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Giles Snyder. A 29-year-old suspect is in custody in Los Angeles on suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon, that weapon being his car. Authorities say he used it to plow into a crowd in East Hollywood early Saturday. There were no fatalities, but at least 30 people were injured, 7 critically, as NPR's Amy Held reports.
It was around 2 a.m. Saturday and clubgoers were gathering outside when a Nissan Versa plowed through a food truck, valet station, and the line of people. David Hawkins lives across the street.
It was chaos, man. There were fire trucks everywhere, paramedics, police, people running this way and that way.
Los Angeles police say bystanders pulled out the driver and beat him. Here's Captain Ben Fernandez.
Security from the club attempted to detain him and handcuffed him, at which time an additional suspect shot our suspect in the buttocks.
Police are looking for that gunman and looking into the driver's motives, including reports he had just been kicked out of the club for fighting. Amy Held, NPR News.
Lawyers for Harvard University and the federal government will be in court tomorrow. The hearing in Boston is about the government's cancellation of more than $2 billion of Harvard's federal funding. Emily Piper-Valillo of member station WBUR reports.
Over 900 Harvard University studies now hang in the balance after the White House yanked funding earlier this year, saying Harvard permitted anti-Semitism on campus. Harvard says the administration's actions unlawfully retaliate against the university for rejecting the White House's demands over what it can teach, as well as who it can admit and hire. Harvard law professor Noah Feldman says the stakes extend far beyond Harvard.
If a university with a multi-billion-dollar endowment can be cowed and pushed around by the government so that it loses its free speech rights, it's a lot easier to stop you personally from exercising your free speech rights.
The hearing is expected to last one day. For NPR News, I'm Emily Piper-Valillo in Boston.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio calling on Syria to use its security forces to prevent violent jihadists, including the Islamic State group, from entering southern Syria and carrying out massacres. Soweto in the south has seen a week of bloody clashes between members of the Bedouin and Druze communities. The BBC's Lena Sinja has more from Damascus.
The numbers so far exceeded 900, and people in Sweden talk about horrific scenes of beheading, of killing children, sometimes infants. And for them, they've lost complete confidence with this government, even though there's an agreement, brokered by the U.S. For a ceasefire and for the government forces to enter the city and, reestablish itself as the power there.
Calm is reported today in Soweto. Bedouin fighters are reported to have withdrawn. And you're listening to NPR News. AI companions have become mainstream among American teenagers. 3/4 of teens say they've used artificial intelligence to do things like chat, flirt, role play, and ask for advice. NPR's Neda Ulabi reports.
The numbers come from Common Sense Media. The nonprofit surveyed 1,000 teenagers representing a cross-section of American demographics. Many teens said they used AI companions for entertainment, but they're turning to AI at a moment when adolescents are developing emotional and social skills, says the study's lead researcher, Michael Robb.
They are sharing things that are quite serious with AI companions instead of sharing them with other humans.
They are also sharing their data. 1/4 of teenagers in the study said they had given AI companions private information. Common Sense suggests teenagers avoid AI companions. The companies that make them, Rob says, do not necessarily have teenagers' well-being in mind. Neda Ulabi, NPR News.
AI robots on wheels are patrolling the streets of Dublin, Ohio, part of a 2-year pilot project to see which technologies, including drones, work best for public safety. Joshua Kirby is a Dublin police officer.
I think people are excited to see the adoption of technology incorporated into the police department and various other sectors of the city to make it a safer, more enjoyable place.
The robots include tech including 360-degree cameras, two-way emergency communications, flashing lights, and audio announcements. Critics are concerned about privacy. The ACLU of Ohio wants the state legislature to pass laws to regulate the use of technology in law enforcement. This is NPR.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. RWJF is a national philanthropy working toward a future where health is no longer a privilege, but a right. Learn more at rwjf.org.
Different on purpose. You're tuned to Mission Driven, listener supported, WMNF Tampa.
Hey friends, this is Reverend Billy C. Works, and this is about the third one of these that I have tried to do. So let me get it for you one more time. WMNF has meant a great deal to my career. It continues to mean a great deal every Friday at 3 to 6 on the Rhythm Revival. But long before that, this was the station that was playing my music before anybody else was. Like I said, they've done a lot for my career at this station, and I'm proud to be part of it. This is the coolest station as far as I'm concerned on the planet, and I hope you feel the same way by supporting us. Behave and be healed.
The following is a statement from the Nathan B. Stubblefield Foundation Board of Directors. Most of our national institutions are being dismantled, including public media. We stand firm in our mission to provide a platform where beautifully diverse voices come together for a more just, peaceful, and sustainable world. We remain a haven for the community through our programming, music events, and outreach. We thank you for your continued support of public media like this community-supported radio station. More information can be found at wmnf.org.
Tune in on Sundays from noon to 2 to the Acoustic Peace Club on WMNF Tampa with Jeannie Holton
and Tom Elliott for 2 hours of new folk, old folk, blues, bluegrass, and more.
Sundays at noon on your community radio station, WMNF.
Everyone, jump on the peace train.
Jazz is alive at WMNF. Tune in Sunday evenings at 8 for Colors of Jazz at our new time, featuring new releases from new artists, old favorites, international jazz from Europe, Asia, and Canada, covering everything from big band swing to bop to fusion. We play it all, plus specials celebrating the music of giants like Ellington, Miles Davis, Pat Metheny, Quincy Jones, Chick Corea, even Frank Zappa. We play the music you'll hear no place else on the radio. Check out our interviews with local jazz musicians. Jazz is what America sounds like, and it's yours to listen to come Sunday evening. If you can't catch us live, play it back from the archives.
You're a little late, so come right this way. Start right in, okay?
What? Say it now.
Yeah.
Say it now. Yeah. Me and the Ohio player's gonna tell you about a worm. He's the funkiest worm in the world. Okay, say it, fellas.
There's a worm in the ground, yes it is.
That's right. That's right.
6 feet down.
6 feet down.
He only comes around
when he wants to get down. But when he comes out of his hole, he sounds something like this. Oh, that's funky. That's funky. Like 9 cans of shaving powder. That's funky. Come on with it again, fellas. Come on with it.
Like Donald Trump's top lip. Funky. Yeah.
Bass in the band.
Plays guitar without any hands. Pretty good, I might add.
Yeah. When he grabs his guitar and starts to pluck, everybody
Funky Worm. Hey. Miss Annie, can you get it?
Come on with it. Come on with it.
Come with it. Come with it. Yeah. You going to church right now? Come with it. Yeah, I know you're in the car. I know you're in the car. In the parking lot. Listen to the Funky Worm.
Don't stop now, honey, get down.
Yeah.
Don't stop now, honey, get down.
Yeah.
That's it.
Don't act like you don't know what this is. Here on the Sunday Forum. Yeah, don't fight it.
Sometimes you can't fight. You let the universe do what it do. Woo! That's where I'm sitting at right now. I gotta let the universe do what it do, Walter. This has been a weekend for me. I'm telling you.
Oh, man.
You know my car went down. My Billy, let me tell you. So I was driving. Every morning I was getting up and I had to jump my car, before I go to work, to my W-2. And I'm like, what's going on? Now, I ain't had no problem with my vehicle in 5 years. So I'm like, okay, Lord, I hear you. It's time for me to get something done. We're going to get the battery done. I go get a battery done, my Billy. First of all, again, 5 years since I had to do anything to this vehicle. So I remember when batteries was probably maybe $75, $80. No, sir, not anymore.
No.
It's $175, $150. I'm like, Lord have mercy. But okay, we need it. We get the battery, my Billy. And I get it at the end of the day. The worst thing in the world is two things. To go to an automobile place at the end of the day, because these mechanics want to go home, right? And then to go to the restaurant just the hour before it's time for them to get off, because they want to go home. So you're not going to get a good portion of food. It's not going to be as tasty. And the mechanics going to do whatever they can do just to get you out the damn door. Okay? Let's be clear. Okay? So he puts the battery in, and I'm like, shh. I said, wait, hello, Susan, sir.
Oh, wow.
It won't start. And then I do it again, then it starts up. He said, well, I don't know what's going on. I turned it on 3 times, and it worked just fine. Turn it up and try it again, ma'am. Okay. It comes on. I'm like, okay. I said, because there's a light on that wasn't on before. Now, when you're looking at your vehicle, you know what lights come on.
Yeah, he's looking at you through the corner of his eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, sir, that light wasn't on.
He trying to go home.
This vehicle, it wasn't. Whenever you change the battery, which I do know this, whenever you change the battery, you got to calibrate or whatever. Everything turns off and it got to be redone. Timing and all that. Okay.
Listen.
So now I leave from there and I go to the gas station, which is on the same premises. We're speaking of Sam's Club. Same premises. And I get to the gas station, turn it off, it won't turn back on. I said, Lord, what's happening right now? Now, mind you, they done shut the gate down. They're now closed. They're now closed. So I'm sitting at the gas station saying, okay, we're going to wait. And, Father, I need for you to do something right now. Just start my vehicle so I can go home. Just let me go home at this point. One more time, I'm going to ask. It finally starts up. I'm like, okay, this is not getting turned off anymore until I get home. Now, I drive all the way home. I get there, make it safe by His grace. Beautiful. The next morning, my darling, the next morning, I wake up. This car's going to start. It just had to sit for a minute. It had to, be, tuned up, or whatever the case may be. I said, this is some BS. This is some BS.
And the cars have a personality of their own.
Yes. So now I have to start my car again because I keep the cable and stuff with me. So I have my own start. I have to jump start the car again for me to get in. I drive it back over to the mechanic shop because now it's a brand new day. And I'm catching you early in the morning fresh. Okay? I drive over there. I said, let me speak to your manager because at this point, there's no reason for me to talk to you because you can't do anything. And I don't want you to touch my vehicle anymore. Let me speak to the manager. So, the manager gets over to me. I tell him what happened. He said, I'm so sorry about that. Let's go ahead and test it now. Okay, great. I said, if I turn this off and it turns it on, I said, that's only because it's been running from my house to your location. I said, but I'm telling you something's wrong with the battery. And I could tell he did not put the post down. And then I showed him that light that just magically appeared, after he did whatever he did. So the man just took the post off, checked everything, checked the alternator. He's like, oh, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay,
Wow.
Good. Now we know Miss Annie's not crazy. Thank you. Okay, so he takes it off, he resets it back up there, he does his little spray thing. He's showing me he's a mechanic right now. Okay? So the car starts. I said, no, wait, before I drive off, let me turn it off again for a few more minutes. Okay, we're going to sit here.
We'll make sure it works.
Yeah, I don't have to do this again. You know, I said, because again, this is stopping me from going to my job. You're at your job. I need to get to mine. So we wait a few minutes, and it does it. I'm like, thank you, Lord. No, he said to me, he said, oh, it's not your battery. He said, and it's not the alternator. It's your starter. I said, what is happening right now? What is happening right now?
No.
Yes. So I said, well, how much is a starter? This man told me $530. All you can do at that point is just laugh. I'm so serious. Because I'm saying to myself, is this really happening? Now, I have someone, an agent, she said, Miss Annie, Mercury is in retrograde, so you're not supposed to do nothing with mechanics, not sign no contracts. Now, I'm not in that universe world that thinks like that. But I'm saying to myself right now, what the hell is happening? What's happening? I leave this location. The light that was on my car is gone. I leave the location, and I go to another mechanic. Now, Walter, like I said, I have not had anything on my vehicle in 5 years. So I stick with the same people that I know I can trust, because anything that's happened to it, you did it, because I haven't been no place but to you.
Right.
So I went back to my regular mechanic, and then they told me they was full. That's when I got on the phone with you. I'm like, they said they full, so now I'm going to this other place. And Mobility, let me say this. Even though, you know, Farmer Smith here, okay, has not had us out to his, to his farm.
Wait. Hey, man, don't be trying to unload on me in public.
Wait, really? He did offer. He said, well, if you can't find nobody, I'm about to do a speech right now. So just give me a call back and let me know how it goes. I said, okay, thank you so much. I'm like, thank you so much for that little input right there. I appreciate it, okay? So I hang up from him, and I get on the phone, and I try to find a mechanic that I want to go to. They tell me that they are full. They can't fit me in today. Well, I need to get to see someone. This is what he said to me. I'm going to send you to the mechanic that my employees go to.
Oh, my God.
I said, that your employees go to? Your mechanic shop. And your
employees got to go to another mechanic.
They don't get their
Hey, man.
Wow. I said, okay, thank you. So he sent me to, the way they refer the employees to. Now, I will have to say, there is a light at the end of this tunnel, listeners, so please understand. There's some light here, okay? So I get there, and I called him on the phone. I said, I'm on my way. Can you please fit me today? She's like, so are you going to leave the vehicle here? You're going to wait? I said, no, ma'am, I have to wait. I have no other vehicle. That's why I'm driving to you now. I would like to go to work today sometime. Okay? So she comes back. She said, well, we have to order the part, but you can come here. You can sit and wait. So I'm like, okay. Now, we're somewhere around 11 o'clock right now, Walter. Me and you were talking somewhere around that time between 10 and 11. So we get there. I get there. And he says to me, oh, yeah, it's your starter. I said, okay. Now, mind you, they can't tell us if it's your starter, if the car turns on. They can't tell. The car literally cannot turn on for them to tell that it's the starter. So he said, well, I can't tell because the car's running. I said, I know that they explained it to me. So I'm going to turn it off, and we're going to sit here for a minute, and hopefully you'll hear that sound. So eventually that sound appeared. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's your starter. All right, thank you. So can we do this? He said, yeah, let me go get you a quote. He goes and he gets me a quote, and I just look at it. I don't even say anything at this point. I just look. I said, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. He did it, Walter. I got my vehicle fixed 2 o'clock. It was beautiful. I'm like, okay. I was there for about 2 or 2.5, 3 hours. Nice small and pop company and everything. So shout out to George and Miss Anna. Those are the 2 people. George is the owner, Anna's his wife. So shout out to Benny's Auto. But this was so funny. He put me right here. When he came to tell me, well, Miss Anna, your vehicle is now fixed. He said, but one of the little pieces on it, it broke. But it's okay because I glued it back together. I said, what?
Glued on.
Glued it on? Glued it? Is that what we are?
I hope it was industrial strength.
Wait, no, I said, okay. I said, if I hit a bump, is the starter going to drop out? I'm like, Lord, help me. Tell me what is going on right now. So he's like, no, it's in there. It's just they popped it. He said, I'm going to order the piece and come back. So in my mind, because I have to take my vehicle back. In my mind, I'm saying, so you're going to pop back out the part you glued in.
Oh, my God.
So that is why I am not in the studio with you guys now, because one last part gets better. My phone totally went out. I mean, just dead. Just dead. Well, it won't turn on or nothing. I put it on the charger. It'll come up and say, Google, bye.
Oh, my God.
To me and my electronic world right now.
Wow.
So, yeah. This is why I'm not there. This is why I'm not talking to you on my phone.
Okay. All right. There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
But I heard part of the morning part of the call, and I do understand because that noise. I call them frogs or whatever you call them. I just say that is a loud noise. But let me ask you a question. Being on a farm, don't you hear roosters early in the morning? Does that bother you?
Nah. I mean, it's a bit. This is a cultural thing. This is theirs. These people are visitors. They're visitors. You don't go to somebody's house and talk about and destroy the natural habitat. They're talking about destroying the coquille, making it. Who does that? Who does it? That is colonizers do it.
Yeah.
Colonizers do that. There we go.
Well,
Hold on.
when you were singing the Bad Bunny song, you had to tell us the words that he was saying. I know you were saying in your language. Everybody don't speak Spanish. So what was the main words that Bad Bunny was saying?
The main words are that it ought to. We should have taken more photos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should have taken more photos implies that the memory of what Puerto Rico used to be, what the barrio used to be, is gone. And they're talking about they talk about the sound, the music, the language. What used to be there is just gone. And so that's what they're saying. We're trying to preserve it. We want to do everything we can to preserve that, and that's what they're singing about. That's what they're singing about. So, yeah. And when we talk about this issue of immigration, this is an ignorant regime. This is a very ignorant regime that we're dealing with here. I don't even call this an administration. This is a regime.
It's not. It's not administration anymore.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's a regime.
It's a regime of this angry white. I'm part of my friend, but angry white man don't know what else to do other than try to be. He's a dictator. That's what he wants to be, a dictator.
Right. I think the darkest person. I think the darkest person in this regime is Kash Patel. Am I right about that? Kash Patel. I think Kash Patel might be the darkest person in the whole regime.
It's just crazy.
It's unbelievable, man. But our communities, the reason that we're talking about this is to show that this administration has done a real job, a head job on all of our communities. So much so that they're carrying on the result of colonization is the dissipation, right? The dissipation of culture that was already there. Dissipation of people that were already there. That's what happens when you have colonization, right? And at this level, this is a parallel to concentration camps now, with this whole thing of the alligator Alcatraz, and then making deals with El Salvador to take people from America, talking about taking Americans and locking them up in El Salvador, and they're not even El Salvadorian.
Taking a step further, Walter, do you realize? Along when they're saying they're taking away our freedom, their freedom of speech, that's what he's doing with this thing with the media, with public broadcasting.
Of course.
He literally wants to censor and stop anybody from having that form of free speech because, according to him, they never had nothing good to say about him. So you're going to take away the people's right to speak.
Of course.
That's what he's doing right now, and nobody's understanding that.
And they want to shut down. They want to shut down music like what we're playing right now with Bad Bunny,
absolutely,
and shut down the ability to communicate in the language that they do know. As I said earlier, it's bad enough that these folks got to do it in Spanish, right? And because that's the colonizing language, but that's the language that they speak, and they've spoken it for over 500 years. And so now we're talking about people now who are they're talking about changing the national language of Puerto Rico, the island language, to English. What? So you're going to take away the food they eat and commercialize it like Taco Bell, right? Like Taco Bell is done with Mexican food. I mean, you get what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Anything that he does not like is what he's going after. He's going after NPR. He's going after the public broadcast system. And the part that blows my mind, someone came on, they made a very good point. You know when something really bad happens, you know how your TV goes, boo.
Yes.
This is the national broadcast system.
Yes.
Do you not understand that may be some of the only way people learn some information that's going on?
Yep.
You know, and he's trying to take that away. And that's what's so sad, and they're allowing all this to happen.
And they use propaganda.
Yeah.
There's not what the information they give is not information anymore. If you listen to the weather station, right, the broadcast station for weather, what they do is from where I live, as you come in, you can hear they give you the weather on NPR from there, right? And as they're doing this, they talk about the areas that it covers. They're talking about, and they say the Gulf of America.
Yeah.
Not here.
So you know it's the federal emergency system, right? Because they're forced to say the Gulf of America.
Right.
Listen, man, it really is. Are we going to be really that? Are we really going to be that childish? Are we that childish, really? And these are children running the White House. These are children running the White House. These are children in Congress. And truthfully, you know, honestly, these are dumb people. There's no other way to say it. Like my mother-in-law would say, Sangano. This is just like, it's like, really, this is dumb. This is really dumb. You got to wait another 3 years now before we can dismantle this bull crap.
Yeah.
Because honestly,
maybe not.
Well, hopefully not. But let's flip the script and go on the other side of the aisle. Okay, what are the Democrats doing? I
know it's so sad. I am so disappointed.
I'm very disappointed. I'm extremely disappointed. We got to do better. When I say we, I'm talking about in general. People got to do better. But Democrats as a whole, I mean, wow. The fact that there seems to be no real challenge no answer to what's going down, right?
Well, you also have
have one or two people, and that's it.
Every place they try to fight, though, Walter, if the Democrats do come out and try to fight, every place they try to fight, this man has planted individuals there. You know, no matter what, no matter what bill they come up, they want to fight or whatever. He's planted individuals in those specific locations that he's going to still get what he wants because he's planted them there.
Right.
You know, so every bill they want to go against, everything he's writing, you know, and they fight it and they Congress contest or whatever, he has somebody planted there that's going to get passed anyway. That's what's happening.
Right.
And we also saw an abandonment of Kamala Harris. And
yes.
They left the Democrats without the mathematical power. And you're right. You also have these people who are being planted all over the federal government right now. And there's a matter of fact, there is a specific plan while 47 is in office to hire a special class of workers as a G class of some kind of workers. And these people would just be loyal to him.
That's it.
That's it. Absolutely.
That's it.
So this is the heritage. This is Project 2025. This is the Heritage Foundation. This is not just him. You know, and getting rid of him, you're going to have to get rid of J.D. Vance, too. And I think that because of the right wing, the far right implosion over Jeffrey Epstein, all of that might happen.
You know what? I'm going to say this.
I think I'm blown. Distraction again, though.
Well, yeah, exactly. But
it is
I'm
a distraction
blown.
on purpose.
I'm completely blown by the fact that this man is married to a brown woman.
J.D. Vance.
Yes.
Well, so
I'm completely blown at that. Now,
why are you blown by that?
Well,
racists have always done that. I mean,
I'm blown.
Stephen Miller has a wife of color, and he's the one that's going to courts, taking all of the DEI cases to court. I mean, don't be surprised by these white men who want to date black women.
Listen, it still drives me crazy. It drives me absolutely mad to know that these things that it's like you don't have better pride than that.
No, it's a power thing.
Like you have no influence over this man. I mean, what are you? What are you? Right? I mean,
Clarence Thomas's white wife has influence over him, but not the other way around.
That's a different dynamic. That's a different dynamic. You're right. You're absolutely right about that. But that is a very different dynamic. But I mean, but you look at these things that are happening, man, and it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But back to what we were talking about, more specifically, dealing with Puerto Rico and with what we're dealing with in our own communities here. We have lost communities historically here, and there's not a placard to even show that they even existed. Right, Robert City gone. Right, along the banks of the Hillsborough River and the west side, gone. Right, and then you have West Tampa that's almost unrecognizable, and we're working to try to get West Tampa back to where, at least not even back to where it's going to be. It's going to transform. Bottom line is transforming. Right, try to preserve what little bit we can preserve over there. But then you have down there in Port Tampa. What existed in Port Tampa is like one morsel of what was there. It's gone. The library is about the only thing that's left. There's no historical marker that points out that there were any black folks down there at all. None. I mean, there was a whole community down there that had to catch a bus, had to catch a trolley, a train from there into West Tampa, and then West Tampa, they took a bus and to go to Blake High School. Mm-hmm. This is. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. Right, right. And, you know what are you supposed to do here? And then you have, wow. Then you have these folks in East Ybor, right? There used to be, there wasn't an East Ybor. It was just Ybor, and bad enough that you had a bottom in East Ybor, right? The red line area for black folks. But yeah, term. Exactly. And you know, and then of course, you know, Italians forget that they were black one time. Right? That they were considered to be black. They forget about that.
And you say it to the Italian, they're gonna get mad at you real quick, because you know what they used to call us, right?
Yep, exactly. Mm-hmm. And they can stay mad all they want to, get mad at me all you want to, or you know what I'm talking about. If you're Italian, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You went through those. Your grandfathers went through those. Yes, your grandfathers and grandmothers went through this. You weren't allowed to go in the bars. You weren't allowed to go in the schools. You weren't allowed to date these white women like with blonde hair. You weren't allowed to do these things that you're doing now. And you had to stay in your own area. You could the closest thing you could do is come to the black neighborhoods. That's the closest thing you can do around here, and you know it. You know it. When you couldn't bury your dead, it was a black woman that gave you the land to do it on 26th Street. Come on now, don't forget. We know our history, but what's happening is we need to hear from you guys about what you remember, about what you know happened, and stop denying that it happened. Stop denying it. Call in 813-239-9663. The culture is disappearing because they're allowing it to disappear. They're letting this stuff disappear, and they'd rather jump ship with this foolish MAGA bullcrap and with this foolishness that's going on in D.C. and with the foolishness that they're calling for. And it's fine for us to eliminate all these other communities, but theirs, right? Right? They have their Italian club going on.
I was watching this show on Netflix called The Royals. It started in 2018. It was 4 seasons, right? And it ended last night. Yes. Yeah. It reminds me of, if you watched it, you know that the son came back, right? And he became the king. And he abolished, or he just dismantled the parliament. You know, right. I'm just waiting for Trump to try that next. You know, we really don't need Congress. My word is the final word. Okay.
Oh, he's trying to do that.
I'm telling you.
Oh, you love to do that. You love to do that.
That's the mindset. Is whatever I say should go. We don't need to have all these people's inputs and so on and so forth. And as I'm listening to this show, I'm saying, my God, I could just see Trump saying some nonsense like that. It's my word. I'm the king. Whatever I say goes. And just getting rid of, you know, the Congress and all that kind of stuff. Because that's what he did on the show. He's got rid of Parliament, everything. And now whatever the king says, it is what it is, and that's it. Yeah, and I'm like, wow. And he gathered his own little round table, and he said, yeah, we just going to take over this shit. I'm like, oh, my God, that's Trump.
Yeah, but that's exactly what he's saying. Exactly what he's saying. And they're doing this land grab. They've been doing this land grab since the first Trump administration and the storm that took place there. Hey, listen, we have calls in line, but before we do that, we're going to hit this Nueva Jordan. by Bad Bunny. Weber Jordan. We got it? We got it?
Okay. Got it.
If you're Puerto Rican, call in 813-239-9663. We want to hear from you guys, especially.
Stay on the line, guys.
Come on now.
Stay on the line.
Nueva York. Si te quieres divertir, con encanto y con primor, solo tienes que vivir. ¿A dónde? Un verano en Nueva York. Nueva York. Si te quieres divertir, con encanto y con primor, ¿pero qué es? Solo tienes que vivir. Y este frío. Un verano en Nueva York. Un ratito nada más. Ey, ey, ey. 4 de julio, verde y Ulay. Ando con mi prima borracha Rulay. Los míos en el Bronx, saben la que hay. Con la nota en hoy, por Washington hoy. Willy Colón me dicen el malo. Ey, porque pasan los años y sigo dando palos. Vendiendo discos como cuadro Frida Kahlo. El perico es blanco, sí, sí, el tusi racista. No te confundas, no, mejor evita. Ey, un chat de cañita en casa de Toñita. Y PR se siente cerquita, sí, sí, sí. Con el campeonato nadie me lo quita.
Cerveza nuevo, no me voy de cerveza nuevo, ¿ok? Puerto Rico.
Como Bad Bunny va a ser rey del pop, ey, con reggaetón y dembow, ey, con reggaetón y dembow, sí, con reggaetón y dembow. Como Bad Bunny va a ser rey del pop, ey.
All right, we're going to go to the lines. That's Nueva Jordan. And that's New York, by the way, for those people who don't know that term. Nueva Jordan is just it's the Ebonics, if you will, of Spanish. In Puerto Rico, especially, you'll hear what's called Bozal Spanish. Bozal Spanish is Spanish that's spoken with that has an African. So like we have Ebonics, yeah. It's Spanish Ebonics. So, for those people who are from Puerto Rico, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so
we also know that particular song also includes a critique of the anti-immigrant policy.
Yes, absolutely. All right, caller, welcome to the Sunday Forum.
Oye, ¿qué pasa, amigo?
Oye, ¿cómo estás, mano?
Hola.
¿Tú estás bien?
Sí, bien, no. Hey, I love your show, man. I love you, as people, because it's all good. but I've been to Puerto Rico a couple of times, and it was beautiful. I enjoyed it. I didn't meet a lot of people there. I met more people going through Mexico, and they said the language was not for real Spanish except for in Mexico. They said they had the original Spanish. He said they called what the Americans speak is like Spanglish or something like that.
Yeah,
after talking to people in the community, they said, yeah, it's kind of like they broken Spanish we speak.
In Puerto Rico or in Mexico?
That was in Mexico. Say that everybody else speaks broken Spanish.
Oh yeah, that's because they speak what's called Castilian Spanish, Castellano. Castellano is more of the more of the Spain Spanish that comes directly from Spain.
Yeah, they explained that to me. So I you learn, you move around, you learn stuff. Some people, you got people you were talking about earlier. I don't even know these polycrats. They sit up there and they travel all around and don't get a clue. Look like to me.
No, man, that's because they're busy trying to erase people's culture.
Correct, and that's one of the things I'm saying. They literally have an issue with being diverse. They literally have an issue with that.
Right.
I just can't explain it to anybody because I can walk in a place and everybody else walk in there and get it, and they see you not. I guess they see you're not ignorant, so they be like, we don't prefer your type or your kind. You inquisitive and you want to, like Sister Annie was saying, she asked a question trying to get down, and she put in a lot of variables late in the evening, etc. But still, people take you through a gamut. It's actually literally a gamut, or what they say, a litmus test for your culture, everything, and you have to be in public with this, you know, and it's very degrading and dehumanizing at that.
Yeah, it can be. It can be very dehumanizing.
And so from just that little perspective, they take us through this. We are part of everything when we're not. And I hear something that's going on in East Tampa with the city council. They finna start putting the CRA over there. And I already looked at it. I've told y'all that I should have took pictures because it's finna turn to high rises.
Well, yeah, the East Tampa CRA has already been there. It's just that it's just been so much trouble, so many difficulties with regard to controlling or with regard to the people who are in East Tampa, somehow controlling what happens to East Tampa. And quite honestly, there are people who would disagree with me on that. But I challenge anybody to call in and tell me something differently about what's happening in East Tampa. I challenge that because I watched very carefully and even advised against some of the things that were done in East Tampa, and advised in favor of some moves that needed to have been done in order to change and to save it from again, we're going back to dissipating cultures and dissipating people, numbers of people. We're losing people in East Tampa, just like we lost people in West Tampa.
Yep. Displacement.
Yes.
Concentration camp somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you move from one economical situation that you actually placated in and you're used to dealing with, and then you put in a situation like they're doing people now, just take you and grab your stuff and put you somewhere else, and you got to adjust to that.
Well, there are different factors to that whole thing. Some of it we have agency over, but some of it we don't. A lot, like for instance, one of the things that we've got to take agency over, it, and that is public housing. Listen, we got to have more housing, number one. But number two, public housing was never intended for the purposes of it being permanent. You understand what I'm saying? It was intended to be transient. If in other words, for the people who were there to move on to something bigger and better, it was just a stopping point, just for people to get a chance to get their wind underneath their wings again, right? But then the government structure was such that it dug holes or put blocks in their way that would stop them from being able to dig out of those holes. It's something that we are seeing in Puerto Rico. Because everybody, most everybody there is on welfare. What? Come on, we put them in a system that is not good. And then on top of that, they're taking everything away from them. They have no control over the economics by law.
Yeah. Well, I heard this before. I don't know. I mentioned it before. A lot of people don't know it, but I talked to a gentleman when I was in Puerto Rico the first time. It was about elections, and it's probably playing into what you just said, is that they allow them to vote in the primary elections, but in the general elections, their votes don't count.
Right.
That's why he probably said it's not a state, and the same for the District of Columbia. And they don't want to make them a state because they're exploiting them in a lot of different ways, but in a lot of ways, they're independent of them. With that, I'm going to get off the phone because I heard something. I was going to leave it with you. In Texas, it was something I was watching on YouTube where they say after the floods, and this is local because right now we have some devastating issues. The people there, the farmers, after the flood, all of their license was revoked for agriculture.
Right.
They took all the farmers' license. But I heard this. I mean, I haven't validated it, but I heard this. So I'm like, what happened to all the food and stuff we're going? And then that wasn't the outcry. The outcry was, they was upset, the Caucasian farmers, that the black farmers was not impacted. It's basically the story because they didn't rely on government loans and they don't have people. They didn't take all the migrants. They took 100% of the migrant workers out of Texas, they said.
That's disgusting, man. That's disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting.
Ache to think about it. So they say the Caucasian farmers want to burn and are burning the black farmers' crops and stuff.
Yeah.
That's the kind of mentality you got. I heard somebody say they hate to see you win anything or do anything, but that's not the issue. I'll leave it at this. We all supposed to be humans, and there's a way to tell if we're humans. They have a little code, and we're not talking about anything old. You look and see if they got a head, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, a pair of lips, 2 ears, arms and limbs. They equal human. Where you come from with this variation based on a visual concept of color.
Man. man.
How is that so impactful in life at any point?
It's disgusting,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Yeah,
And
man.
that's where they took us. They took us down that slippery slope of backwards. Trying to go backwards, exactly. Trying to go backwards. That's all you can look at and see is trying to go backwards.
Can't keep doing it, brother.
Everything that was created, everything that was supported, and what we're supposed to start from scratch. And hey, did you hear that they took out the NPR and what you were talking about, and they got this new bill to put in their own program talking about they study the effects of something. They studying something, but it's not as good as NPR. Yeah, it's something they start, and they're gonna take the money out of it and start their own thing.
Yeah, well, that's nothing more than like a Tokyo Rose type thing where they use that as propaganda to talk to the black troops during Vietnam and during during World War II to get them to switch sides. And that man, this is nothing but propaganda. Is all they're trying to do, man. But hey, thank you very much for your call, man. We got other calls we got to get to.
Okay. Thanks for the time.
Peace, brother. All right. Next caller.
You got another caller?
Yep, got another caller. Caller.
You know,
wanna
Doc,
call you on the
every
air?
time every week that goes by, and I try to just stay away from that book. It can't happen here. It happens here.
Yes.
And finally, we get around to realizing that in the book in Happen Here, when we talk about the corp and the corpos and the M&Ms, the Minutemen, that's nothing but ice. It is almost what's happening here almost mirrors what St. Clair Lewis wrote about in 1935. And finally, I saw where even your boy Tucker Carlson had mentioned and talks about Buzz Aldrin and stuff, and that we are living the living example of what St. Clair Lewis wrote about, and it is just it's just miraculous when you think that these and the kid can't happen here. The universities were dissipated. It even has the same territory. We talked about this before: Greenland, Canada, and conquering aspirations of this guy Buzz Aldrin, and they're the very same people who enforce the rules of Project 2025 and in Buzz Aldrin's 15 letter manifesto. These same people became victims of the very same, by Elon Musk, of this very same thinking that they had been promoted for. They were there to enforce for. And when you go back, and Walt, you know this one, bro. What is it? That's apartheid in South Africa. The whole thing with the Milan government and stuff. In terms of their philosophy, all of that stuff really originated out of this country, because they followed in their invasion and their conquering of the African people. They followed what was happening here in the United States. And not only did they follow it, but in fact, Germany had lost a lot of its citizens to the United States. And they sent a guy named Ratzel over here. And Ratzel comes by here and goes to Alabama and starts looking around. How were these people removed, the native population? And what did he call it? Lebensraum.
Yeah.
I talked about Lebensraum.
Well, we need to take a look at more at what Sinclair Drake talks about.
Right.
And Sinclair Drake dealt with this. He's an anthropologist. He wrote a book called Black Metropolis. And Black Metropolis, he spent his entire life basically doing the studies about the black society post-slavery, post-Reconstruction, and during the time period of the migration of black folks from the South to the North. And as he would write that, because there were studies done through the Philadelphia Negro which is written by W.E.B. Du Bois. The study that he did as an anthropologist / sociologist to disprove the assumptions that were made, the gross assumptions that were made about black society as it was developing in the United States. More specifically, his work was specifically in Philadelphia, which is why it was called the Philadelphia Negro. So a lot, Sinclair Drake and his studies on the black metropolis really cleared up a lot of those stereotypes and put really in perspective where we are as a community and as our communities are developing. But again, I go back to the point that without our history, without knowing our history, without talking to the elders, and without listening to the elders, we would not know anything about it. And the despicable thing of it is, and the shame of it all, is that more attention is not given to this fact right here in our own city. I mean, listen, city council has done, especially led by my man Louis Vieira, has done an outstanding job with addressing black history in our city, in our state, and stuff like that, and bringing these things to light. But he would not know some of the stuff that we were told by our own people, and I think that the council needs to really take a stand on this point. The mayor needs to take a stand on this point. I mean a drastic stand to support these things and be vocal about supporting it. You get what I'm saying? Because unless they're vocal about this type of thing, we have that means that there's not really going to be a real commitment. We can't really trust there's going to be any real commitment. I think that needs to happen. And of course, without that, of course, we have to do it ourselves. Outside of that, we just have to do it ourselves. We should be doing that anyway. We should be doing that anyway. And folks need to listen to shows like ours so that they can hear the type of things that we're talking about and really understand what the connections that we're making to our own communities. Our resilience building, right? Our ability to our history and the disappearing communities are happening because we're not paying attention. We're not paying attention. Folks, please pay attention to what's going on. We're telling you things that you don't hear. But Billy, Ms. Annie, please tell them.
No, you're 100% correct. But you have to keep in mind, Walter, and I'm just summing this up real quick. You have to keep in mind that all this is by design. Okay?
Yeah, it's by design.
This is not something that's new. It's something that's been ongoing. It's just now he's just doing it a whole nother way. And it is going to always be about keeping them in power to a certain degree, but they only have the power that we allow, that we give to them.
But we keep thinking that we're dealing with a broken system. And we're not dealing with a broken system. We're dealing with a system that is designed to be that way, like you said.
Exactly.
And I think that needs to be vocalized, like really vocalized. That people keep saying, the system is broken. No, it's not.
But I agree with you, Walter. But individually, we have to be accountable for ourselves as well.
Exactly.
Like you said, they need to pay attention. I can tell you something every day, all day long, but if you don't apply it, if you don't, implement it, what does it mean? You can keep telling me, yeah, I understand. Yeah, you're right. Okay, but what are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? Closed mouths don't get fed, right? So if you know what's going on is wrong and you're still sitting around, you're not doing anything about it, who do you have to blame at that point? It's not a secret. They're not doing anything in secret anymore. It's right there in front of you. But you do have an option.
Right.
You have an option to take control of your life. You have an option to take control of what's going on in your community by being involved. Now, I'm big on entrepreneurship. I'm telling everybody that's listening right now, you need to start understanding the importance of having your own. It's not that hard anymore. Right. All you have to do is read and do research. As much as I'm not a total fan of AI, I'm telling you, this AI will benefit those that start their own business to a certain degree as well. But
use it, integrate it, and use it. Exactly. Take advantage
of what's going on. And for that welfare thing, Walter, I told you, when they first started in New York, we just said welfare is farewell backwards. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's another way to keep them in control by giving you little bitty dimes and quarters. So as long as you have enough to feed yourself, you should be happy. Do you not see what they're doing now with that big?
Yeah, they're lulling you to sleep. They're lulling us to sleep with this bull crap.
They're telling individuals between the ages of 18, it used to be 18 to 54, now it's 18 to 64. In order for you to get some type of assistance, you now have to go to school or work a certain number of hours. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is what they're doing. This is why they strip so much. He's doing the same thing that he did. When I say him, I'm speaking of Trump, of course. But this is the same thing the government did years ago when they started welfare. They said, we're trying to make it better so they don't just be dependent. They need to go out and work and so on and so forth. And you're not wrong for that part to a certain degree, but there's some individuals that's out there that truly are not able to work.
But stop trying to take it out of our schools. They took the ability to make a living out of our school, out of our public schools. Right, so what's there now? What's there now? You got to go and go get FAFSA, so you can go and go learn at a college somewhere, and there's nothing wrong with that except for the fact that it was free. It was free. It was at school. You had auto shop. You had drafting. You had mechanics. You had all the design stuff. You had all that in the school system. So then, you had all that. These kids can't even balance a checkbook, much less even know what a checkbook is. That's where we are right now. That's where we are right now. But best believe, white folks can taught their kids what a checkbook is. I bet you that.
And not only that, they're teaching them at home. Oftentimes, they're teaching them, getting them prepared to be powerful leaders, not workers.
Exactly.
They're teaching them how to recognize weak leaders.
Exactly.
They're teaching them the game of power.
And I teach my son and my daughter that. I teach my grandchildren that. That's what I preach. That's what I preach, and that's what I practice.
You know what's funny, Walter? When he's doing all this grabbing people up so he can meet his 3,000 people per day. What did he say? Don't mess with the hotel workers because we need somebody to service and clean our rooms. Don't mess with the farmers because we need somebody to make sure the fields and stuff we got food.
If you think if you think there's nothing wrong with that, folks,
he's cherry picking.
You're not paying attention. Yeah, this is apartheid all over again. It's apartheid all over again.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, real quick. What we about to say, B? I'm sorry.
Just that this is a racist policy.
It is. It really is. And there's no way. There's no two ways about it. Don't call here talking about trying to. If you do call here trying to debate it, let's get it. There's a call coming in. What's up? What's up, partner?
What's up?
What you got?
Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, caller.
Hello.
Yes. Welcome to the Sunday Forum.
I love your Sunday show. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because it reminds me how they're still black versus white. And you guys are very black versus white, us versus them, me versus the man. It reminds me that it's still out there, and you guys are the example I use as racism is in our world. Just listen to
Lord have mercy.
WMNF.
You're projecting again. You're another white person projecting.
Wow.
You're projecting.
And you're the epitome of it, partner. You're the epitome of that. You are the epitome of it.
So much for your input. Next
Appreciate
call,
it.
please.
That's it.
Let's call us versus them.
Wow.
But he can't recognize racism coming out of this White House, out of this Congress, out of this regime.
That's amazing.
The whole campaign was racist. The policy around immigration has been racist. Let's just not sugarcoat it.
You're talking about us. You remind us that it's us versus them. It's us versus them. And man, please listen.
You need us to remind you.
Whatever, man. Listen, I bet he doesn't forget. If it's who I think it is, I bet you he doesn't forget. Right? I bet he celebrates everything he needs to celebrate to remind folks. Right? About what happened to them.
Crazy.
Bet you that.
Hello? Crazy.
Yeah, caller.
Welcome to the Sunday Forum.
Hi, good morning. That was crazy.
That was absolutely crazy.
That was crazy. Yes, ma'am, it was.
Yeah, that was crazy. No, I was born in Tampa. My parents were born in Puerto Rico, and I just wanted to say thank you guys for shining a light both on the history of Tampa and what's happening currently on Puerto Rico.
Absolutely. I would not miss the opportunity to do that. Absolutely not. Absolutely.
Have a great morning.
All right, you too. Peace.
We're in the last minute.
Let's try to get these last ones. Quickly. Welcome to the Sunday Forum.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
All right. How are you?
I'm all right.
All right.
Hey, this is administration is taking us back. He's taking us way, way back. You're talking about taking the language from the Puerto Ricans, which are Americans, et cetera, et cetera. Remember, they did the very same thing to the American Indians.
That's right.
They wanted to take they did take their language, except for a very few that are on still territory now. And in those territories, the rate of alcoholism and suicide is the highest in the United States within those reservations.
That's right. That's what we're getting.
This administrator is a dictator. He is a
point
dictator.
blank.
Wake up, America. He's a dictator.
Completely.
He's taking America back, way back. And I'm considered 1/8 Indian, although most people look at me and think I'm a white girl. But my roots are my roots, and I'm proud of it. And anyway, this administration is very sick. His root is the money. People will do anything for money.
All right.
Unfortunately, true. Thank you so much, Paula.
We got to wrap it up, man. I'm sorry, but no, we appreciate the call.
I got one thing to tell you. That's really important. I am also a realtor in the state of Florida. When you get a chance, look up Red